rest invest just be the worst kept secret in Silicon Valley, according to Google observers. This is the common practice of senior engineers at big tech companies. It means just simply hanging out on office rooftop gardens, chatting with other engineers, and not really doing any work. It also means collecting million-dollar salaries and vesting heft stock option packages. This practice is now common at Google, Meta, and other big tech companies. But it has now come under fire as big tech revenue and earnings are not meeting expectations. Last week, Google CEO Sundar Pichai told attendees of a conference in Los Angeles that rest invest will be stopped. What does it mean for Google? What does it mean for technology companies? What does it mean for Silicon Valley? What does it mean for the economy? And what does it mean for the future of the United States? But before we get into all of that, please press the like button and leave us a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Rest invest engineers are also known as coasters. These engineers are institutional employees, mostly senior engineers who have an easy job and pretty much do no work at all. Rest invest practice was jokingly dramatized in the HBO show entitled Silicon Valley. In the HBO show, Nelson "Big Head" Biggetti was promoted to a senior position at the tech giant Hewlett. Hewlett was a fictional company having many of the characteristics of Google. In the HBO show, Biggetti was not assigned to any project. So Biggetti just wasted away his days chatting with fellow resters and investors. In the process, Nelson kept getting richer while doing practically nothing. The problem is, rest invest is not really just fiction. In real life, tech titans like Google, Meta, and Microsoft state openly that it happens more frequently than most people think. My days began at 11 and I took long lunches, laughed one former Googler. Why is this allowed to happen? Well, it happens because big tech companies can afford it. That is, at least until now. With seemingly endless streams of cash, these tech titans hire or promote the hotshot engineers in blossoming fields like artificial intelligence and quantum computing. And these engineers are not expected to work even 40 hours per week. Some tech companies claim that it is a defensive measure, aimed at keeping these special engineers from jumping ship to the competition. Google has become synonymous as being the employer of choice for resters investors. But, according to Google CEO Pichai, the practice is about to end. At Vox Media's Code Conference last week, Pichai spoke at the Vox Media Code Conference last week about the Google plan to find efficiencies in its business. Pichai discussed a recent corporate initiative called Simplicity Sprint. More importantly, he is now even telegraphing a layoff of up to 20% of Google employees. Economists are predicting a recession in the United States. And the Federal Reserve has raised interest rates aggressively this year. Pichai pointed out that ad spending, the main source of revenue for Google, is slowing dramatically. With looming recessions and inflationary pressures, Google is also experiencing fiercer competition, especially from TikTok. Things that were not even on the radar are suddenly emerging as big issues for the big tech companies. Many different approaches are being used to address the problem of falling productivity. One notable approach is to find the resters investors and call them out or even fire them. Pichai pointed out that this is not very easy to do and must be done cautiously. Having a militaristic corporate productivity tracking system could actually achieve the opposite effect. Intense monitoring of employees does not make for a happy work environment. This is especially true of knowledge-based employees, like engineers. These engineers are the source of ideas. So, getting them to be more productive is a very subtle task. But Google is about fairness of opportunity and leveling the playing field, according to Pichai. Even top engineers sometimes need to be reminded and motivated to make their rightful contribution to the company. Even so, nobody really wants to be perceived by others as a lazy cheater. After all, everyone is human. Nobody should want to be a social pariah, even if they have a lot of talent. Contributing, belonging, building alongside your fellow creators, this can be a strong motivator to get people involved more evenly, said Pichai. Pichai made it clear that Google has its work cut out in creating a new normal around what it means to work at Google. Resting and vesting is definitely a bad thing and ending it is a good plan. This year, Google finds itself with major challenges, maybe for the first time in its history. In his Q2 earnings call, Pichai said that Google's performance was far from good. He also said that Google is not performing as well as it should with the employee base that it has. During his speech at the Vox Code conference in Los Angeles, Pichai gave more details about how he has plans to rejuvenate growth at Google. Pichai is determined to run on fewer resources. Pichai has set an efficiency improvement target of 20%. A year ago, layoffs at Google seemed unthinkable. But now it is seeming inevitable. After years of unbridled headcount and salary growth, Google is facing economic challenges like never before. Like other corporate chiefs, Pichai pointed out that there is economic uncertainty about the future. Ad spending, a primary source of Google revenue, has slowed significantly. The more we try to understand the macroeconomic, we feel very uncertain about it, Pichai said. The macroeconomic performance is correlated to ad spend, consumer spend and so on, he added. I cannot control macroeconomic factors, Pichai noted. According to Pichai, the rapid headcount increase of the past few years has made Google slower. We want to make that we are prioritizing all the right things, continued Pichai. We need to be really productive in order to have maximum impact on performance and success, Pichai also noted. Google recently reported its second consecutive quarter earnings and revenue misses. Last year, rank and file employees criticized Google leadership for poor pay, promotions and execution. Employees cited a growing bureaucracy at Google, and executives agreed. Across everything we do, we can be slower to make decisions, Pichai said Tuesday. As an example of efficiency improvement, Pichai discussed aligning YouTube Music and Google Play Music into one single product. Sometimes there are areas to make progress where you have 3 people making decisions, Pichai continued. Understanding that and bringing it down to 2 or 1 improves efficiency by 20%, he added. Google executive Fiona Ciccone acknowledged concerns about layoffs throughout the tech industry. Google is not currently looking to reduce Google's overall workforce, Ciccone said. But we can't be sure of the economy in the future, Ciccone was quick to point out. But layoffs at technology companies is currently the elephant in the room. Here is the list of some of the companies that have announced layoffs in August 2022 alone. Snap, owner of Snapchat, announced a 20% reduction of employees. This amounts to approximately 1,300 workers. Snap also initiated a major restructuring of their online platform. Apple announced that it is cutting 100 positions and slowing hiring and spending. Oracle, the worldwide software, has cut hundreds of positions but declined to say how many. Most job cuts are said to be in the customer service unit for U.S. customers. Crypto trader Coinbase announced a 20% workforce reduction. Crypto lender Genesis cut 20% of its workforce due to what they call turbulence in the cryptocurrency market. Online stock brokerage Robinhood cut 23% of its employees. This is the second round of layoffs for Robinhood so far in 2022. Connected exercise pioneer Peloton has cut 800 employees, announced several store closures, and raised prices. Last month, Meta Platform CEO Mark Zuckerberg told employees that the company plans to reduce its hiring target for engineers from 10,000 to between 6,000 to 7,000 amid the market downturn. Realistically, there are probably a bunch of people at the company who shouldn't be here, Zuckerberg said. But, what do you think? Please leave us a comment below and hit the like button. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Please share this video on social media. Thank you for watching.